Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be teaching you how to make Nigerian meat pie. So in here I have 4 cups of flour or 1 kg of flour, and to that I added a tablespoon of baking powder. The full ingredient is to be in the description box below. So to the flour and baking powder I added 300 grams of butter and I mixed it in with my hands. You can actually use gloves here, but I used my hands and my hands were well washed. You mix the butter and the flour until you get a breadcrumb style consistency. Or let me see, until it looks like gari. Hey, I think that one is easier to understand. So this is what you want it to look like. So after that, I cracked in 2 eggs. So using my hands, I worked the eggs in and mixed together until everything started to come together. So to get the dough, I added 8 bits of water. I had a cup of water here, but then I went in with it bit by bit. You should go in with your water bit by bit so you don't add so much water, as what you want to get is a thick and non-sticky dough. And you should work the water in and near it gradually until the dough is formed. So I continued to knead until everything got together and I added water when needed. So at this point, I noticed it was still sticky, so I sprinkled a bit of flour and then kneaded it until it wasn't sticky anymore. After that, I just wrapped it in a clean film and kept it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. You could actually just set it aside for like 30 minutes while we move on to the fillings. So moving on to the filling, I have some ground beef. You could actually just put your beef in a blender and blend it up. Some onions and some carrots. I couldn't get potatoes, so I just decided not to use it. So I sauteed my onions until they were translucent and I added the ground beef and stir fried it until it lost its pink color. Now as you can see it was no longer pink in color. So I went in with some garlic powder. Pardon me for using a cover. I should have actually used a spoon, forgive me. And I just mixed together. I actually don't like spices in my meat pie filling, so I decided not to use curry and thyme, but you can actually use it if you want. So I just mixed together so to be well combined, and I added 8 bit of water and I added my carrots. So while that was cooking, I made a slurry. with flour and water so as to thicken the sauce and make it moist. And I just added that to it and stirred and left the vegetables to cook a little bit. So I allowed it cook for a little bit and I turned off the heat and left it to simmer. This is how your filling should look like. It shouldn't be dry, it should be moist. So it was about time for me to roll out the dough and I sprinkled flour on the surface of my rolling board and my rolling pin so the dough wouldn't stick while I rolled the dough. So I rolled out my dough thinly. It shouldn't be too thin so the meat pie wouldn't break open or crack in the oven and it shouldn't be too thick as well. While I was rolling this out, my oven was already preheating. So while I was rolling out my dough, I remembered that I had not greased my baking pan, so I decided to grease it with a bit of butter. I could use oil and sprinkle some flour on it and dust it off. So it was time for me to cut it out, and I didn't have a pie cutter, so I used a stainless cup. You could actually use anything that has a round tip, like a pot lid or anything to cut it out. And also the size should depend on the size you want your meat pie to be. So after cutting, I added my filling. The filling shouldn't be too much, so you'll be able to seal up your meat pie and so it wouldn't break open in the oven. So after that, I just brought the tip together and pressed down with my hand and also used a fork to press it down to give it that meat pie-ish look and also to seal it up. You could actually use egg wash to seal it up also. So I repeated the same procedure for the other one I had cut out until I exhausted the dough and I just transferred to the baking pan. After I was done, it was time for glazing, so I breaked an egg in a bowl, whisked together, and used a fork to glaze the top. You should actually use a pastry brush, but then I didn't have, so I had to use what I had. And you see that big one, they actually just made it like that so I could eat it alone. Yeah, after I was actually supposed to pierce the top of the meat pie so the steam can come out while baking, but I forgot, so I did that in the oven. I just kept it in the oven and allowed it to bake for 30 minutes. So this was what it looked like after baking. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.